Yo, yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Don 773 TV. You're definitely in the place to be. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And we gonna dive right into it. Know y'all been seeing the headlines all over social media. Defensive Player of the Year, AllStar JR, been hit with a tech. He got snatched, y'all. They say it was a technical foul on the play. Boys say he been arrested by the feds, and it's being reported that he's being charged with felon in possession of a firearm. Now, a lot of people expected some heavier charges. So this guy actually didn't call it a blessing. We don't know if it's more to come. So today we're going to break it down, what we know, what's being reported, and what this could mean moving forward. But before we move on, let's dive into the news clipping. Y'all check this out.
Jalissa, thanks. We do have an update now to a story we first brought you as breaking news earlier this month. The FBI has now announced charges in the shooting on April the 8th at Confessions Restaurant on Kirby Drive. You remember this story. Authorities say that this guy, Christopher Ford of Detroit, a rapper who goes by the name AllStar JR, opened fire back on April 8th, injuring 3 people at that scene. Charging documents also say Ford posted videos on social media referencing and taunting people involved in that shooting. Ford was arrested this week in Michigan and has now been charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm.
This morning, too.
So that it is. So it's very brief. They used the phrase that he was taunting his victims online. Now, me personally, I don't really like that framing, because based on the details that came out surrounding this situation, a lot of people feel like AllStar JR was the original victim. So he wasn't the aggressor in this situation. So those people turned out to be victims in the end. But let's continue on. We got to be real about how serious this situation is. According to reports, one of the victims had his fingers amputated, and as of April 15th, one of the victims reportedly did not have feeling in their legs. And that brings us to Ben 10. Ben 10 been online in that hospital bed, sipping lean, getting lineups, trying to make it look good. And I get it. He's trying to stay positive. But after all the information that done came out, man, look, bro, you focus on your healing, man. Ain't no making this look good, bro. Everything ain't good, man. That man over there fucked up. You need to focus on your therapy, on your recovery, and getting back well, bro. Leave social media alone for a minute, because after people done clicking on your post, they laughing at you, brother. After all this information that done came out, man, what they used to say, man, you played yourself. Straight up. And it turns out AllStar JR wasn't capping. He was actually holding back. That's the crazy part. Some of the things he was saying online seemed to line right up with what the feds are reporting. Say this man that hawked somebody down, shot at them, came back, emptied the clip and Ben 10. Once he emptied the clip, he done pistol whipped a man, spit all in his face. Man, he went the distance. And yeah, that's actual surveillance footage right there in that corner, y'all. That's him standing over Ben 10. That's crazy. So to know you did all this, bro. I get it. it's many people on, it's a lot of us on the internet that feel like you wasn't in the wrong, right? We feel like it might have been justified to a certain extent. But due to the fact you knew what you did, bro, you shouldn't have been online trolling like that, bro. You know that was overkill, man. It's a limit. It's a line you cross with self-defense. You chase somebody that was fleeing, then you went back to a man on the ground and did that to him. You did him dirty. I get it. You was pissed, bro. I ain't saying you won. I get it. You was in the moment. But you shouldn't have went to the internet with that, bro. You should have just kept that to yourself. You could have did some subliminals and some music in the future. But I wouldn't have jumped online that quick to entertain these people and risk my freedom. Because now it done turned into something else. Because we know Houston, you know, Texas is a stand your ground state. So in that moment, you know, things was working in his favor. You know, once that gun hit that ground and he got control of that gun, shit, it was up after that. But, you know, the things that happened after he got him up off him is what got him in the jam. But as of right now, he's only charged with possession of a firearm. So, you know, we're gonna see where this go. Yeah, man, like I say, I would have kept that to myself if I know I didn't chase niggas down and all this. Yeah, you should have just chilled out, man. I ain't gonna lie, what stands out to me is the charges. He's just charged with a felon in possession of a weapon. You know, that's some light charges compared to the details, you know, of what happened. So that raised the question: is this the final move, or is this the underplay for the overplay? Because we know how the feds work. They'll bring somebody in just to flip them. And with these charges being so light, you know, you gotta ask, you know, what's they play with this? What they on? Now, another rumor that was floating around is that he got arrested in LA on his way to a Vlad interview. And that was going around. You had some people saying he was arrested in LA. You had some people saying he was arrested in Michigan on his way to LA. But I want to play a clip for y'all, man. We got Vlad explaining exactly what part he played in all of this.
Well, he was on his way to do an interview with Vlad TV, but not in California, in Detroit. So we had, you know, the last couple of days we had talked to AllStar JR. I think you were involved in the process.
I was.
In terms of booking him to do an interview to talk about the whole situation. So we set a date, we set a time. It was going to be in Detroit. I wasn't going to be there. It was going to be remote.
True.
Right? So in that case, I try to do interviews in person, but I don't always get to do it. So in that case, it was going to be a remote interview. So earlier that day, we had a conversation about some of the topics that we're going to cover in the interview. And the conversation wasn't taped. So if the feds want any level of cooperation from me, I'm already not cooperating. Right. I'm going to be pleading the fifth. I always protect my guests. I have a long history of this. If you look at, for example, the Keefe D situation, Las Vegas PD tried to get all my raw footage. I refused. There's a Jimmy Henchman situation where they wanted my footage. I also refused. I would lawyer up and I would fight situations like this. So I'm not cooperating on any level. And I'm not going to talk about what we talked about in our phone conversation. But the whole thing was we were setting up an interview for later that day. It was supposed to be at 7 o'clock Detroit time.
Yes. True.
So the studio was booked. My man Mafi set it up. You were involved in the process as well. Everyone was excited to do it. 7 o'clock rolls around. I'm hitting up Mafi. Yo, what's going on? Where's he at? Oh, and he's going to be there at 7:15. And he actually forwarded me a text message, which we'll show on the screen, from AllStar J, saying he's running a little bit late. It's going to be 7:15. All right, cool. 7:15 comes around. Nothing. 7:30, 7:45. Now we're not even getting an answer from him. 8 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, well, I guess we're going to cancel. You know, we gave a 1 hour grace period. I don't know whether he got cold feet or something happened, but at the end of the day, he didn't show up. So we canceled. And then I think maybe about an hour after that, I get a text from Mafi from AllStar JR that said that the feds picked him up, which is horrible. It's a horrible situation. But I could tell you that I had absolutely nothing to do with that situation. If the feds wanted to pick him up, they probably would have waited once he got to the interview location.
Right.
And if they wanted more info out of him, they could have just waited for the interview to be done.
I think it's the complete opposite. See, Vlad saying, hey, man, they would have let him do the interview and got more information. I don't think so. We know how the feds work, man. This man been being watched since this shooting happened, right? And I'm guessing, this not facts, this my opinion. I think they might have stopped this guy before he got to talking on Vlad because they got a bigger picture with this. I think the big goal or the big fish might be mob ties. Now, with these weak charges they have against this guy, man, they'll come in there and ask him, hey, man, what happened? You were the victim here. If he implicates mob ties and J. Prince Jr., man, them people gonna have a problem, y'all. A real problem. Like, they're gonna have a real problem. All of this, doing the Ben 10 challenge. Bro, you went viral, bro, because you really did that. I ain't knocking you, bro. Them people attacked you, bro. I get it. You could have been in the moment. Some people black out. You should have held that to yourself, brother. Because, yeah. I asked y'all, is this just about AllStar JR? Because I feel like it's a bigger picture. Is they trying to grab others connected to this situation? Could this be a play on Dre Prince Jr. and mob ties? All AllStar JR got to say is, look, I was the victim. I feel like this situation was instigated. I feel like certain people put batteries in them dudes' back. Then this could snowball into something much bigger. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying with the charges being so light, you gotta ask, are they trying to use this as leverage? Because if he start implicating names and saying certain people help create this situation, things can shift fast. Now, we don't have every document. We don't have a list of charges. We don't have the full story yet. But we do know this. Talking online after a serious situation can bring that heat fast. And sometimes what looks like a light charge could be the start of something much bigger. Y'all let me know in the chat. Is this just a gun case? Is this just a simple gun charge? Or is this the beginning of something bigger? Could this turn into pressure on J. Prince Jr. and mob ties? Drop below and let me know what y'all think, man. Cause like I say, this could be a play by the feds, y'all. Y'all let me know in the chat. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the church mob. Church, we out.